All right, welcome everyone to the WCA Finals here in Burbank, California. My name is Dustin Kane, and over the next few days, we're going to have the top 6 Dota 2 teams, as well as the Heroes of the Storm, and of course the top 4 qualifiers from Hearthstone and Crossfire competing for a chance to go to China for the World Finals. Now today we'll be covering Crossfire as well as Heroes of the Storm. The 2 Crossfire teams, will be competing for $25,000 and a trip to China for the World Finals. Second place will be taking home $10,000 and a trip to PAX for the WCA Open Finals of America. Now, of course, we also have Heroes of the Storm who will be competing for $10,000, and they will be going to the World Finals as well. Second place, $5,000 respectively, and a trip to PAX Prime for, again, the WCA America Open Finals. Now, to meet our Crossfire teams, let's go ahead and go to the casters.
Well, thank you, Dustin. And as he said it, we are down to our 2 and final teams here today as they battle it out for all that prize money and the trip to China. But I'm Gex, and alongside me, I have Rukil here, who's going to be joining me for the event today, this best of 5 that we have. And, man, it is going to be a good match today.
Oh, man. I mean, you've got one team which is just absolutely the favorite to win right now. Mm-hmm. Now, their opponent, Team WoW, we've got a few things we're wondering. Are they going to show up and blow up? Are they going to be able to play? Are they going to be able to match against a team like Carbon? We're going to find out today, of course, as they compete for their right to fight in China.
Of course, that is the questions that we're all asking, but we are going to find that out today. So there is a little bit of a change-up in our format here for this event today versus what we've had so far throughout these WCA qualifiers. So we'll go over that quickly now, as we will be changing things up to a best of 5 today, as I was talking about, instead of the best of 3 that we've normally been doing. Going forward, and of course we said that we got that big $25,000 for the first place, $10K for the second place.
Yeah, and we're also seeing all 5 maps because of that best of 5.
Yep, that's right. All 5 maps into play. There's only 5 in the pool, so all of them will be utilized if we end up going to that 5th and final map today. And we've actually already gotten our first map decided. We did a coin toss earlier to decide who was going to our first map, and that is going to be Mexico. So that will be coming up here soon. But as we said, first place going on to the global finals, getting that $25K, second place $10,000, and going on to PAX to compete in the open final. So lots of good stuff on the table here today, Rukil.
Definitely, and I think the LAN experience, just getting to come out and play like this, is just a reward in itself. Always, whenever you're a pro player, anyone who's been there knows just how great it feels to sit down with your team at a live event and really get to try and play at the height of your potential. It just gives me chills thinking about that feeling.
Oh yeah. It separates the men from the boys, so to speak, playing in a LAN environment like this. So, we'll see how that turns out for these teams today. But also, go ahead and use that hashtag WCA 2015 on Twitter and other social media sites. We'll be kind of joining the conversation with you guys afterwards, and give us your predictions, all that good stuff.
Definitely, that's what I'm looking for. I want to see what people are predicting. I want to see if they want Carbon to win, if everyone's going for them, that favorites, or if, everyone watching is going for the underdog. If they are, well, then we know they have that support. Maybe that'll help them ride through it and get out in here with a victory.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And of course, speaking of the experience thing and kind of, who everybody wants to win here, let's talk a little bit about these 2 teams, because it's interesting. Going into this event, Carbon is the team, we've been alluding to it here, that they have a lot of experience internationally and in North America as far as their LAN experience goes, all of that. And, Team WoW, maybe not so much. They're a little bit new to the LAN scene other than one of their players. So it's, there's...
It's a big question. It's a big unknown. And when you don't know someone's experience on a LAN, they have this huge potential variance. They could potentially play very, very well. And it's a natural thing for them to play in a LAN. It's even better for them to be on a LAN because you put them all in the same room and they just synergize. They just click, and it's just this machine. Or it can go the opposite way. Once they take a bad loss, someone makes a mistake, and it could all come tumbling down. It can go either way. And it's this because it's such a long series, also a best of 5, they're going to have plenty of time to get momentum, lose that momentum, all of these different things. We're going to get to explore that plenty, and especially because they're in a live event, I like to be able to see their faces because they're right across the room from us in here.
That's right. We'll get to see the sweat pouring down when they're stressing out on those clutch rounds and all that good stuff. That's the joy of being at LAN, right? You know,
Exactly.
That's the fun part. So we'll have to see how everything goes here. The teams are gearing up, and we are getting in. As I said, Mexico will be our first map for the day, and we will be seeing a best of 5. So there's lots of Crossfire to come today.
All right. So how far out are these guys right now from being in game? Because I do see a lobby in front of us right now getting filled up. Players getting in positions.
It looks like we should be ready to go soon here. I know we have, well, it looks like Team WoW's all in and ready to go here. Carbon's still waiting on a few, so I'm thinking within the next few minutes here, Ruko, and we should have this shindig rolling.
Oh, that's fantastic, because I can see right now everyone's getting situated, everyone's getting keyboards, mice set up, making sure their sound is all in order, because that's one thing coming from having competed at Lanza. You have as well, right?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
We all know when you're trying to set up, you have to try and you go with one or two, I think, philosophies when it comes to a LAN. You either go with the, I'm going to adapt to whatever situation I'm in. I don't care how high my seat is. I don't care what the monitor's like. I'm going to just play on whatever I have, and I'm going to make that work. Sometimes some people can succeed at that. Others try and emulate that same experience they had at home, where you were sitting there, you get your monitor exactly at the right angle, you get your mouse exactly where it was. You get your seat just so. You know, even I know some people at live events, they've had a chair with arms. They've been like, I'm not playing with arms on my chair. They have to be off. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So it can end up, you know, slowing you down for a few minutes. But altogether, I think it's worth it to make sure you take the time to just get yourself absolutely settled.
And that's really one of the big things. One of the big things coming to LAN is just having, it's so different than what you're used to at home. And, you know, that's one of the factors that these guys have to deal with. But, you know, like we said, Carbon has a lot of experience dealing with those sorts of factors. And, you know, Team WoW, this is a little bit more new to them. Yeah. It's a new experience. But you know what? I've seen them play very solid online. They've really come up in the past few months as one of the top teams in the North American scene, and it's really exciting to get to see them here at this event, to go up against one of the powerhouses like Carbon.
And they haven't seemed that nervous. They haven't seemed rattled or anything. I saw them in the back practicing this morning, talking a little bit about being at a live event and what that meant. So it seemed like they understood what they were getting into when they were coming here and how to handle that. They'd prepared. So I wouldn't feel as though they're going to get off to a rocky start, but my prediction is got to be that Carbon's going to start strong, and then we might see WoW get some momentum. Of course, they have had, you know, a short history coming here. Actually, you know a lot more about that than I do. So where did Carbon start in this one?
Well, Carbon, they had, throughout the qualifiers, they kind of had, I don't want to say an easy road. They had some close games coming throughout the first part of this tournament. I don't want to say an easy road, but a little bit easier now, whereas Team WoW, they had kind of more of, they had some very close games. They actually had a very close best of 3 going into a third map to get to this final here. It was very tight, and you know, but they managed to pull through it. I actually at one point didn't think that they were going to make it through to the finals. They were down, but they persevered and got themselves back in it, and that's, you know, that's what separates, as we say, the men from the boys. They pulled through it, and they have themselves here now, and I think they'll be a good competitor for Carbon.
Okay. Now, we do have a WoW interview. Let's go ahead and take a look at that piece when we come back, continuation of this show.
Our team name is Muppet Squad. We play Crossfire. We've been actually a team since a month ago. The team won with 5 players, but there was a roster change that they thought that needed to be addressed. So we are a fairly new team, and we've been working hard the past month. So being invited to this tournament means a lot to me personally, but it also means a lot to the other 3 players on this team. This is their first LAN tournament. It's a time to prove themselves, but it means a lot to me being this is my 8th or 9th event. The goal is to become world champion, really make our mark on the esports scene, prove to people that we are worthy, we put in the time and effort to win this tournament. But most of all, it's just traveling, meeting people. It's just, overall, it's a great experience. Nothing you can really buy with money. A lot of people have talked about going against Carbon. There's a lot of bets, 50-50, 60-40. The thing with Carbon is that they have veterans on the team. Most of them have gone to international events. They are very experienced. But we think that we can beat them. We have beaten them online several times, but they have beaten us as well. we never really played each other in a serious event such as this where there was so much more on the line. Such a grand event. And the best thing is that we have been preparing strictly against them, and every step of the way we've been thinking how to counter them specifically, and we're really confident that we can take them out. The strength of our team is that people listen, people are willing to learn, people are willing to grow, people are constantly practicing, playing. We're not scared of the enemy.
All right, well, there you have it. You heard what Team WoW had to say about being at this event, what it means to them. So we should be ready to go here, Rukil, in just a second into our first game. We're going to be, as I said, Mexico will be our first map here today in this best of 5 that we have coming up.
So for both of these teams, who's probably going to come out ahead? I'm expecting Carbon right now because of the LAN experience.
Well, and that's the thing. Carbon has all that experience. But the interesting thing with Mexico is what I've heard leading up to this event is that this is a very strong map for Team WoW. And, maybe this is an opportunity for them to come out and, set the tone a little bit.
Now, what you've been hearing is that they're solid good, or that they have some strats which are going to throw Carbon off.
Well, I actually heard some of the insider info that this is their best map right now. This is what the word on the street is. Now, I haven't heard this directly from them, but the word on the street is that this is their best map right now. So, we'll have to see how that plays out. But regardless, the thing is, Carbon is just such a strong team. They can play well on all of these maps. So
I think players are getting ready to start as well. We're about to get into game. Fantastic. Everyone is set. You can see players right now getting loose and chatting with each other.
Oh, yeah. They're getting pumped up over there. You can see it. You can see the excitement on the faces here. Smiles across the board from Team WoW. I love to see that, though. Happy to be here. So we are heading into our knife round, guys, and this will determine our sides, who gets what side to start things off, and that can be very important, Rukil, on some of these games, because especially on a map like Mexico, it's a very GR-sided map. So that's a really good side for teams to start off on to set the tone and get a lot of rounds.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think Carbon needs to try and start this one off well if they can get this knife, and that's going to be it.
And they're just about there, too. It's only Coda who's left in this one here, so it's going to be a tight one here. Yeah, it looks like that will be Carbon picking up that knife round. So they're going to be able, I would assume they're going to start off on the GR side here. I mean, that's really just the favored side all around when you're playing on Mexico. That's the side you want because you can really collect up those early game rounds and make it easy on yourself when you go on to the blacklist side. If you can collect up, since it is a 1st to 10 overall, if you can collect up, 8, 7 rounds starting off on that GR side, you only need a few going into the second half.
Exactly. You need to get out of this map as soon as possible if you're Carbon, because if what we're hearing is true about WoW, then we really need them to just get through this as quickly as possible, pull out all the stops, because they don't want to let their opponent, start to wear them down or get some momentum or get a feel for their opponent on a map where they're already well acclimated.
Yeah, exactly.
If they can get themselves well acclimated, WoW might be able to start getting some real momentum here. Now we know just how good they are on this. Yep. Which is rumors.
Yeah.
That's
word
it.
on the street.
Yeah, word on the street kind of a thing. So it's really going to come down to proof. I want to see it. That knife round. I don't know if that says a whole lot. It really doesn't as far as them. But now they are starting to actually get into the game.
And we are ready to go, man. We have got it set up. This is our first map here. Aaron already starting things off here, but Famesy will trade off that frag here. As I said, Team WoW is starting off on the blacklist side. Definitely the tougher side to get things going on, but Juice is already going to pick up another one onto Druzy as they try and get into this ace site. Babylon picking up 3 to start things off. What a way to get it going for Team WoW here. They're going to pick up that first round right out of the gate.
Okay, that's one way to start. All right, not bad there.
That is an excellent way to start off. You could hear the yells, too, couldn't you, Ruka?
Yeah, dude.
They were pumped.
Completely, absolutely excited. I mean, we've got sound-canceling headsets on, and I could just feel it.
I still hear it.
I could feel it more than I could hear it. All right, so now what's the opening strat? It looks like things are going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Generally, we see this map being a little bit more fast-paced, but looks like Team WoW maybe wants to slow it down a little bit. As you can see, Babylon here is trying to start it off by working some sort of a pick maybe with that down towards sewers, but nobody wants to peek him out here, so we're just kind of seeing these stalemates.
He's just going to switch up the position, try and find a new angle. Now the smoke's going to stop him for a little bit, but once it clears, we'll see if he's going to be able to find a shot. Now there are Actually, he might be able to if he sticks there for... No, he's going to transition over. Okay. He doesn't want to sit on his position too long. Doesn't want to risk getting picked off. But actually going up to the bridge right now would be fantastic. He might be able to get a shot into not one, but two members of our Global Risk team, Carbon.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys sitting in this mid here from Carbon. Once this smoke clears, he may have...
Not quite there.
He's got an opportunity here. They're really... You can tell Team WoW wants to work off of this pick, but they still can't seem to find anything yet, but he's just going to get flashed out here. So we still have a minute left on this round, and still not much action coming through. I mean,
it's feeling each other out.
There it is. Babylon starting it off there, getting that pick on a 15 OL. He has his name backwards for this one here, but that is 15 OL for those of you who are familiar with him. So we should be seeing another A-site push come in here. Aaron starting off. Babylon picking up a second one with his Deagle inside of the site too. Team WoW just opening this one up, and it is all Famesy left in mid, and there is Team WoW picking up 2 rounds in a row. What a start for these guys over on this Blacklist side, though.
I think we're right here when we hear those rumors.
Yeah.
I think, WoW does know what they're doing here, and they sound like they are just on point with each other. You usually don't hear a team that's shaky or, not confident.
Right.
Like that on a LAN. If they can keep that up, and as long as they don't, kind of run out, we have Tony WoW's going to go down to Druzy there.
Yep, Druzy's going to start things off, and Babylon's already been rocking so far for Team WoW here, sitting at 5-0, just off of 2 rounds, so he's very much been a factor here so far. And we were talking about this the other day too, about how using the sniper on this map it's tough, but it can be very effective. It's so close quarters, but Babylon's been doing it so well so far.
Now Babylon, I actually have to ask the other day conversation. Was it Babylon you were talking about again, who was so excellent on this map at it?
15 actually is the one that I was talking about the other day. As you can see, Famesy actually picks up one as well. He's running Famesy and 15 are going to be your 2 main snipers over on Carbon. But as you can see, Famesy there is going with it. And here comes Juice. He's actually getting aggressive into that mid, but Fotsy will respond right back. Carbon having a much better round there.
There we go. Now, they think they got a little over-aggressive, lost a little focus, but I'm not seeing anything that's probably going to say they've lost it entirely. Just a little thing. You've also got to give credit to Carbon. They know how to react to their opponent. They're starting to understand what they're bringing, because there's not a huge amount of variation in that layout that we're seeing out of WoW, so you can get used to it, adjust, and counter some expected plays, especially with some solid reads on your opponent's positions. Exactly,
and that's what they're trying to do here. And Babylon is actually switching back to his M4 here, kind of your standard play, but Famesy wants to stay with that as he plays with it over quad box. He got 2 kills last round playing with it over on that side, so he wants to try for this again. And he's, in the past 15's really been the strong sniper for them, but recently, there he is again, Famesy getting Tony WoW there to start it off, and he's going for 2, misses that shot, but he wants to see if he can get a little more action, but Brando's going to pick up 2 in this mid as well here, so we're looking at a 2 versus 3.
This mid push, though, absolutely just walking into a crossfire. It's not working out for him. Aggressive, maybe a little bit too much from WoW, because Carbon is set up, and
That man. I'll tell you, Famesy just tore it open on that round. I think that was 2 or 3 from him.
No, it was easily 3.
Yeah, 3?
Famesy easily 3, maybe even 4. I think that was 4.
It may have been. I lost track there in the process, but...
You just get taken away by all the kills.
There's so much going on, man. This map is very chaotic. It's very chaotic, and we're looking at a 2-2 game now as Carbon comes back with 2 straight rounds of their own here, so we'll see how Team WoW will respond on this round.
And we've got a very aggressive play from Aaron. I'm not sure if I agree with that kind of lone wolfing. The rest of the guys, of course, moving up at the same time, but there we go. We're losing a lot of members of WoW.
Oh, goodness. Here comes Carbon. They've already picked up. That's 3 frags right back for them. We're looking at a 2 versus 4. They tried maybe for some sort of a pinch on this A site, but now they've brought it back towards B as they had their players come out of sewers, though Babylon's going to get caught out in mid by Fotsy, so now that is a 1 versus 4 for Juice. Just too many guys to deal with there. It's a tough situation.
It's very difficult to clutch. We're going to see a number of situations like that with one guy alive, all the pressure's on him. He's going to go for it, but you know what? These guys are such a high skill level that you're not going to be able to consistently make these clutches, so they're going to be that 1% of a situation. It's going to take a heck of a lot of focus, skill, everything to be able to beat any number of guys greater than yourself.
Yeah, and especially with Carbon, too. These guys have been around the block. They know how to play those situations. I used to play on a team with a couple of these guys. Their motto was, you're in you know, you're in those situations where you have a few guys up and you've put them in a clutch situation, just stick together. That's the thing. If you
That's
just
a long
stick
motto.
together,
the
drawn out one. But
I mean, I get it. You know, drawn out mottos are good, but I would go just stay together.
Well, exactly, because, I
Yeah.
mean, then you don't give them those 1v1 opportunities, because when you give them the 1v1s, that's when you get yourself into trouble.
Don't group up too much, of course.
Well, of course,
Everything in moderation, right?
See a big push from Team WoW here coming in through mid. Juice opened it up with 2 in his AK, and Babylon's back on the AWM as well. He was able to get one. 15's playing on that alley side, though. As they try and get themselves into the B site here, they will put this bomb down, so we're looking at a 1 versus 5 now, as Babylon's already picked up 2 frags on this round. Druzy going down. And now we're looking at 3-3 here, but I'll tell you, Team WoW is really coming out strong on this Blacklist side. They've got it up at 3-3 here. We only have 3 more rounds left on this half. If, Carbon's better start putting up some more, but look at Babylon, man. He is just tearing it.
Absolutely. MVP for his team right now with those 10 kills. Although Famesy on the other side is barely behind him with 7, so one good round will match or even overcome, putting him the top killer in the round. Now, we will have back and forth. Butch trades down Famesy. Is he going to be the one left? Because Fatsy is still alive right now. Tony, wow, left as the last one. He hasn't been also doing as well as a lot of his other teammates right now. And that's going to be...
big nade.
In comes the artillery.
Yeah. Famesy went Kobe on him there, threw one right onto the site. And you know what's surprising about this one, too, Rookil, is that Tony has been stellar online in the past few months, and maybe it's a little some of the LAN nerves coming through from him on this one so far. I mean, he's only gotten 1 kill. He's sitting at 1-4 here, and maybe not too much cause for concern yet. We're still in the beginning stages of this one.
He could just take a minute to get himself focused, but definitely noting that he is having trouble getting started right now. It could be just a misread, by the way. I'm just going to play devil's advocate for myself here and just say, it could be everyone else just picking up the kills and him still doing enough work. He just happens to go down in unfortunate situations. He's positioned in a place where he's just not able to do as much work sometimes as some of the other members like Babylon who've been able to just run away with a bunch of kills.
Yeah, we'll have to... Oh, goodness. Famesy, though, starting it all. Brando coming back with 2 of his own with that M4, though. A couple of frags, they're just flip-flopping back and forth here inside of this mid. As you can see, all the action just burst at once there. But we're now looking at a 1 versus 2 as Aaron gets shut down by Druzy inside of that
2 versus
site.
1.
It's going to be a tough one. Coda already taking a lot of damage, and that will get shut down there. Now Carbon starting to compose themselves a little bit, now up 5-3.
Yeah, I think they might be getting used to their opponent. This is what we were waiting for, to see if Carbon was going to be able to kind of match that supposed mastery of this map from Team WoW. But Team WoW is doing pretty well, yes, but you're just saying it. Carbon could start getting a bit of momentum here, running away with it. And this kind of a backdoor here. Sneaking into the site. They are going to be able to make their way in. They are going to get some control, but they are not set yet. There's not a lot of cover and not a lot of space to work with. And they've kind of put themselves in a bucket here.
Oh, they just stormed onto him. The rotates coming through very strong from Carbon there. Brando finishes off that round by shutting down Tony Well, and that's actually going to be the end of the first half there. Carbon taking it 6-3, which is a pretty solid first half all around from Carbon there. I mean, that's a good way to start off this game. You know, it's maybe they probably would have liked to have done a little bit better, on this side. But you have to keep in mind, this is also Team WoW's. It's one of their best maps.
Yeah, that was the thing. We were expecting them to do so much more, And it's just a very confusing kind of thought. Now, we can see all of the players right now just trying to get themselves ready and compose, a few little conversations going, but I believe the Team WoW side is a little more quiet, actually, on those comms.
Yeah, they're a little more, reserved, I would say. A lot of these guys from Carbon and past LANs, too, they're known for being, loud and rowdy. But I like that, too, though, because they get themselves pumped up, keep themselves in the game, and it makes it interesting.
All right, we are getting into game again for that second half. Let's go ahead and take a look at those opening moves, because I am seeing a nice group up, same as always.
Oh, and here's Famesy, too. He's trying to do the same thing Babylon did, working down here. But Babylon, speaking of which, is just going to land a nade right onto 15, who was sitting over in that mid. A couple of nades, I think, came through as Druzy got hurt as well, sitting in towards that BL side of mid. So we're looking now at a 5 versus 4 to start things off here in favor of Team WoW. So Fatsy, as you can see, trying to work on this bridge into mid with Druzy, but Fotzi's also been another all-star for Carbon, and I was watching him warm up earlier today, Rookhill, and he was just looking like a beast. I'm expecting him to do a lot throughout this best-of-5 series.
What do you know about his play style and the way he thinks, though?
He's just so aggressive. He just knows when to push, and he's so good at aiming. He has just such good raw aim that he can just push in there and knows exactly what to do, but didn't seem to be able to do too much on that round.
Well, problem is the rest of his team just got shut down. Yep. He has no crossfires, no support. No one's going to be able to come in when he starts putting that aggression in and then being able to complement it or to at least make up for someone else getting the first shot off. Now, this is a crazy mid-rush right through the water and a quick short stop, but we're going to lose Druzy, we're going to lose Fatsy, and that's going to be 2 for 1 trade as Aaron will go down, and that is not the best start for Carbon on the BR side.
No, it's not, and you know they didn't really seem to do it as a team there. And now we're looking at a 2 versus 4 though. 15 and Brando are your remaining guys for Carbon here on this round as they want to try and meet themselves up. 15 at least has the bomb to work with, so they don't have to worry about trying to pick that back up. But still, it's a tough situation.
It seemed like a big timing issue for me.
Yeah,
hitting one point in the map, trying to catch your opponents, and then, of course, a few guys weren't just able to get into the right position in time. They did not have enough time. Maybe a little bit of a hold-up in the middle for just 1 or 2 seconds would have done it. Maybe, but we can't really know because, of course, WoW could have had the proper reaction in place no matter what. I'm just thinking that could have been it.
Yeah, it certainly could have. And
I have to theory craft when I see those situations.
No, I agree with you because they also had, along with it being mistimed there, Brando actually getting a pick. Dakota responds back with 1 onto Brando, so we're now 1 versus 3, but Juice shutting down 15 there. That's 2 right out of the gate for Team WoW to start off this second half. But to kind of finish the last thought there, it seemed like the push was, as you were saying, it was kind of uncoordinated, and it wasn't really a team-played push there, and that definitely, I think, cost them the round.
And there we go, Fatsy getting really aggressive and taking a lot of damage for it. He's not going to be able to take anything else. Now, we do have Famesy taking out Babylon. I love that Famesy able to get some work done for his team, picking up some kills, and there's going to be Tony WoW again for Narb. And we're going to lose 51, and it's going to be a back and forth. This is going to be close.
Oh, Brando getting a second one here, but Aaron was able to get 2 in mid as well. That's actually left it up to a 1 versus 2 now as Juice tries to take these guys on. He does have full health, and he'll be waiting just around the corner here to make it very tight, though. He's going to play sneaky for the time being, but he does have at least the benefit of Famesy being low on health. Oh, he had a good look at him, but just couldn't quite
tagged him
land
a little
the shot.
He tagged him a
Got
little
some, but now that bomb is going to go down, and he sees Brando over there, but he's going to have to try and rotate himself around. He has Famesy playing over towards that quad box side, and Brando, I think, maybe coming around towards the alley. Yes, he's playing in the alley. Great shot from Juice, though, onto Famesy, now making it a 1 versus 1 as he tries to retake this site. He will have to start moving, and here's Brando playing that very tough angle. Very tough angle in the boxes. Brando playing it perfectly, and that will put a round up on the board there for Carbon.
That's such a perfect position. You back up a little way from those boxes, you find the perfect angle, and you're able to see right up and through, right up to the top of the ramp where you've got perfect headshots, also some good body shots right there. You can also vary it a little bit. It's just such a good spot to follow up a bomb plant.
And it makes it so tough for the team that's retaking the bomb site to get back in there. But as you can see, Carbon's going to have a pretty aggressive hold in towards this mid. They have a lot of players in that way. Few towards alley as well. May see something towards that A site, but Babylon's going to start it off by taking down 15. Actually got the wallbang headshot. Coda coming out and Aaron as well. And that'll be a 2 versus 5 that they have themselves into. Now Brando and Famesy, the only ones left. Famesy had such a good look onto Aaron there. But now we're looking at a 1 versus 4. Just a tough one. They got themselves picked off pretty early there,
now,
Carbon did.
I got to point this one out. Tables have turned here. Last time we were seeing Carbon playing incredibly well, catching the lead, but things are on the other side right now. We've got WoW getting that momentum, getting the wins that we were really wanting out of them.
And you know what? Their strength on this map is starting to show on their GR side. It is 7-6. Carbon is still in the lead by a round, but still, it's such a tight game here. And once again, they're going to try and get aggressive into this mid. Druzy was able to get one. Brando is going to respond with a frag as well as Coda from Team WoW was able to pick up a frag as well. But we're looking at a 4 versus 3 as this quad box push starting to come through from Carbon.
And the bomb has gotten through safely. I like this. Everyone's all together. We've got good positions now. We are going to start losing players. They have to go through that attrition of just getting to the bomb site, but they are playing it tight right now. And we could see Carbon get away with this one. This could be where they can get a bomb plant.
It is
First possible successful bomb plant if they can get it down.
You know, it's tight. They actually, Team WoW playing this oddly. They have one inside of the B site. One's actually going to be over in A. It's a 3 versus 2 right now. Carbon has the advantage. I think Famesy actually did see Aaron cross over to the A site, so they know that they're split right now. If they wanted to, oh, he takes down Aaron anyway, waiting that frag out. Now it's just Tony WoW left inside of the B site, and look at this. Why even bother dealing with it? I mean, Famesy's going to be looking behind. I guess they want the frag anyway. They're hunting it down, but
you got to get it.
Yeah, Carbon coming back with a couple rounds here.
Yeah, and notice Narb sitting on 10 kills. Batsy, 51. Nothing right yet.
Yeah.
And then Famesy and Druzy are on 2 alone. This is a really, very heavy kills onto one player, and everyone else seems to just be going down every single time. They throw him out in front and say, hey, go first. You got this, buddy. You got it.
I mean, look at him. He's going to do it again here. I mean, he looks like he wants to. Brando's just been leading the charge. Sees Babylon there just on the edge of the smoke. Couldn't get the shots off. Actually dinked him up a little bit, though. But look at this already. Carbon down 3 players with some pretty low health to start things off. Might make it a little more difficult for them here, but still we have Brando, who's just been a monster on this second half for Carbon. We'll see. This is the guy you want to lead the charge here in towards this mid, I think.
I think so too, although it is just risky to lead the charge at this point. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's probably finesse you're going to have to come down to.
Yeah.
You could try and do the rush, but it's one of those situations. It probably doesn't even matter how much health you have. You're going to go down, or you're going to make the kills.
And when you know what, you can also use that Famesy plays. He's actually been able to pick up 2 here. Got 1 pick right at the beginning. Uses that Deagle as well to get 1, but Team WoW responds with a couple of kills of their own. And here comes Tony taking down 15 inside of that mid as well. But Brando and Druzy are still alive here for Carbon, and they're both playing towards this alley side here. 2 versus 3, but they're going to take their time. Still plenty of time here, Ruko. Still a minute left.
Yeah, that minute's plenty of time now. 58 seconds is going to be a little bit of trouble, I think. As we get closer to 40 is when we start to see it get really dicey. And then Brando, let's see if he can do it.
1 versus 2 now. Babylon played a very tough angle inside of that A site. Now he has to deal with Juice and Tony over on Team WoW here. May be able to sneak off a bomb plant, though. Tony is playing just outside of that site. It's going to make it tough, and Juice is going to be over in the mid, landing that headshot, though. Now down to a 1 versus 1. He wants to get the bomb down, put the pressure onto Tony here, and he'll be waiting for him.
I think he knows. He knows exactly where Tony is. He knows what he's got.
Oh, yeah.
And the doors, they set him up for so much.
Oh, my goodness. What a shot from Brando, pulling off that round. I believe that was a 1 versus 2 clutch there, but that is massive. Out of Carbon, out of Brando specifically. I mean, look at this guy right now, 13-3. Next best on his team has 4 kills.
He is just playing like an absolute monster right now. If he can keep this up, fantastic. But think about this. You can try and specifically target him. Try and get him off this game. Try and get him off the battlefield. Just take him out immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spam nades where you know he's going to be. Try and just... Because he's wrecking you right now. Wow. He is absolutely wrecking.
The guy is just been a monster so far in the second half, coming up big, and that's some of the experience that he is able to bring to the table, been to many of international lands, and that's really starting to show here. And this is also map point for Carbon. So if they win this round here, we will see them take the first map, and that may spell some trouble for Team WoW, this being one of their best maps.
Yeah, definitely. I think we were hoping it would start them off well. Carbon, though, a team with the experience like we've been talking about, if they do this, it's really no big surprise, though. It's what is expected. They are the favored team, and they are favored, and they have every reason to be. They have the experience, they have the skill. Players, you're seeing it right now. Look at the kills across the way.
Oh, man, that is just brutal. A relentless pressure, from Carbon there, but they take that first one in pretty decent commanding fashion there. That's actually going to be that'll be a 10-6 win, I believe that is for Carbon there, and that is big to come out on Team WoW's favored map, really, and just be able to command like that. And look, they have a little the talk going inside of the chat too. I like to see it. So a little that smack talk. So
if you want to hear a few more words from Carbon, we do have a short video. Let's go ahead and take a look.
My team name is Team Carbon. We're playing the game Crossfire, and we're from pretty much all around the United States. We've been a team, well, the core three of us have been a team for about 2.5 years, and then we just recently picked up him. He's the most recent pickup, Tyler over here, and then Fat is the other, I guess, most recent pickup, but he's been with us for about a year. Well, winning this tournament would probably be one of the high points in my life because I freaking love China and I want to go to China again. And I know all of us, like it's not even all about the money to us, it's just about like winning the tournament, getting first place, and the money is a nice add-on too, but going to China is just like, it's too much fun, man. We're gonna go again. The addition of Fat and 15OL to our team was just like, it was a huge boost of confidence for one. You know, it doesn't so much at this level matter who you necessarily add onto your team as long as they're good, but like knowing we had Fat and Tyler just gave us a whole new level of confidence, seeing as you have the best player in the game and the best sniper. So Fat over here, he's just a god, man. I mean, we're all good, but this man right here has really brought us to the next level. Going against Team WoW, I'm not gonna lie, we're pretty confident. We know we're gonna win this. I mean, we're the favorites, obviously, and there's just a scraggly bunch of people we didn't even know before this tournament, so.
So there was a little bit of insider info for our top dogs there. Carbon, get to hear a little bit of what they have to say. But speaking of them, taking that first map there, Rookhill, a good way to start things off, especially on Team WoW's favorite map. I mean, that's a great way to start off the event.
Yeah, we were hearing, of course, if you guys are just joining us a little bit late here, don't forget hashtag WCA 2015. Tweet us your predictions. We've just gotten through Mexico as our first map favored for Team WoW. Carbon, though, coming out ahead in the end. That was a 10-6 score.
Yep.
And, yeah, definitely surprising us all, but close enough to the point where I don't know if it was maybe WoW being just not as comfortable in the LAN, you know, getting used to everything, getting situated. Also, we noted that their comms seemed to be a bit light.
Yeah.
That was one thing. They didn't seem to be communicating as much.
Whereas, you know, you had Carbon, who was very, very loud, very energetic going through. So Team WoW a little bit more reserved, but you know what? They're going to get themselves into the next map, which will be Port. We're going to take a quick break here, but Port is going to be our next map, so don't go anywhere, guys. Second map of this best of 5 coming up for the WCA America Pro League Qualifier Finals. We'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. We are now just about to get started into map 2 of our best of 5 series here, Rookhill, which is going to be Port. We'll be starting that up in just a minute here. We have the teams ready in, and we'll be heading into the knife round. But in case you're just kind of tuning in with us here, Carbon did take the first map over on Mexico at a scoreline of 10-6.
Yeah, a little bit one-sided towards Carbon, maybe. I thought it would be much closer than that.
Right.
Was our main expectation. Or going for a WoW win on that one, but WoW not coming out in this situation. Now, they do have a chance to come back, and I did see some players that I noted at the beginning. Tony, for example, was having trouble getting some kills, doing work. Towards the end of that series, of that map, he was able to correct some of his errors and start making things happen. Saw a few other members of Carbon as well having trouble at certain times.
Well, and, you know, getting Tony to start playing at his full potential, I think, is also going to be one of the big things for Team WoW moving forward, because he's so strong for them. He has been online, and that's really going to be one of the big factors for Team WoW moving forward is, can Tony get himself to playing at his full potential? Will that happen? We'll see. But, you know, I think Team WoW may have had some time to get themselves a little more acclimated here to the whole LAN environment maybe and get situated. So as you see there, Carbon is going to win that knife round once again, and that will set them up to pick whatever side that they want to go with.
All right. Now, what side do you think they're going to go with, of course, to start this one out?
Well, you know, that's the thing. It can be, you can play this map to your strengths and weaknesses. It's not as one-sided maybe as, say, Mexico is, but I think you should see them probably go with the GR side start first, most likely. You know, will they go on with that? We'll have to see, but I think, yeah, and they will. Carbon starts off over on the GR side.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's slightly more favored on this map. I mean, you can get away with doing a BL side start if you want, but still, it's your safe bet is definitely to go GR.
Yeah.
So
You'd be trying to throw off your opponent with that one, just trying to be like, all right, what are they going to do? Why would they pick that side? All right, they must be trying something sneaky. And then if that head game doesn't actually do anything for you, then really you've just kind of thrown yourself off probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, well, it looks like we're just about ready to head into Port here, into our second map, and Carbon up 1 map to 0 right now. It is best of 3, so they still have a couple more to go here if they want to become the champions, but
it's not nearly over yet. It's not even decided yet. We're not even halfway. We just started out, so we've got so much time still.
It's plenty of time for them to work themselves back into this one team. Wow, but you know, they don't want to let themselves get 2 maps down here. That's going to be a big factor for them. If they go down 2 maps, you have such a long hill to climb back up.
It really is very difficult. Now we do have, of course, Aaron going down along with Tony Wow as well, hitting the dirt. Batsy and Druzy really doing work here. And Juicy also.
Well, they had a flank coming through. Babylon was ready for it, though. Must have got the call from his teammate, but he was able to take out Druzy. But that is some heads-up play to be ready for that. So we're looking at now a 3 versus 4, and Famesy's going to be sniping once again. And it's nice for Carbon because they have options in that department. We talked about that a little bit, how Famesy and 15 can both snipe, and you know, you gotta love to have options that you can switch it up. If one guy isn't hot, you can switch it maybe to another.
Yeah, and he's gonna be waiting right outside our barn.
Oh, and they're actually running, look at this, Rookhill, they're running a double setup here. 15 and Famesy are both sniping.
Yeah, although very different parts of the map. We should note they're both trying to get that opposite coverage. Now, if they were comboed together, that would be so dangerous. But
deadly.
They both got the site covered. Each one of them's got a site. We'll see if they're going to be able to work with that, or if, there we go, we're going to see a push into the site. Blacklist trying to get some control, but looks like one of our arms is going to go down.
Yeah, Babylon able to find Famesy there, so we're looking at a 2 versus 3, but the flank is coming through from Brando, able to take down Babylon. Coda's still down below in the site, but 15 will shut him out with his deagle. And that will be first round there, going over to Carbon.
Yeah, great play from them, although bold, I would say, in some ways.
You know, it was a good flank from Brando, too. He had a good flank coming through that barn side, able to pick up 1, and then that forced Coda down into the site. And then he was kind of trapped out there. And look at Famesy, still rocking with that arm, able to start this round off once again for Carbon.
And he could find Babylon if he's going to play around in the mid some more, although it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get anything elsewhere. We do have Juice going down. It looks like not able to get any work down there. Not even any damage, I think, done.
No.
Nothing. So really starting this one off at a 4 versus 5. A huge disadvantage for our Blacklist team.
Yeah, and it's already tough enough to get into some of those bomb sites, and now they're going to have to try to man down. But Babylon is going to be up on this scope again, and he was pretty dangerous with it on Mexico for a period there. And actually, there's some action. Yeah, I did the caster's curse right there. And now Coda and Aaron both able to pick up a couple here, so they've evened up the playing field. Team WoW has. Now we're looking at a 3 versus 3, as they do have Aaron still lurking around in the lower tons, and Babylon and Tony are going to be in tunnels as well.
No,
actually,
Babylon's over in the barn. He's throwing a nade up and over, trying to find something on to Druzy. Druzy is very low, and that could... No, never mind. Sorry, Babylon, I don't think is going to go for the site take, although he is with his battle buddy, Tony. And between the two of them, they could get something done.
They could, and they actually know 15's out there, I think, but the sad part of it is for Carbon is that they lost, or excuse me, for Team WoW, that they lost Aaron down in those lower tunnels on that push, so now they've put themselves at another man disadvantage, and actually Babylon, very smart here. He's looking for this flank that Fotzi's bringing through, but he's not looking at him. Great flank, though, from Fotzi. Nonetheless, now that has put Tony into a 1 versus 3, maybe his time to shine.
I don't know, man. He was trying to cover that angle. He had an eye on it. He just wasn't as fast on the trigger, and he hasn't been able to come out today. I'm worried about him. If he is able to do something, all right, start turning it around on me.
Great way to get himself back into it. Tony able to pick up 2, so now we're looking at a 1 versus 1. Fotzi is actually very hurt as well. Could be a big round here for Tony. He just saw him as well. Can't get that last shot. Finally got it. Tony coming right back with a 1 versus 3, and that's what we've been waiting to see out of him.
Oh, God, that was the moment, exactly. We were wondering, is he going to be able to get himself into the game? If that wasn't it, I don't know what is.
You know,
you got to get those clutches, or he could just be the clutch king. You know, just leave him alone right at the end. Let him go do some cleanup. Otherwise, he's going to get all distracted with all these teammates alike.
And the aggressive plays are coming out of Carbon here. They tried to push down, but already responding, taking out Fotzi and Brando as well. So now a 4 versus 3 as they try to get themselves into the site. Babylon taking out Druzy as well, but Druzy was able to get one in the process, and now you're left with Famesy and 15, who are the 2 guys with the alms. Actually, Famesy got Aaron, so now it's a 2 versus 2, but it's going to be tough for them to retake this site, both of them having snipers. It would be better if maybe one of them could get a rifle in their hands, but they may just make me eat my words here, as they are going to really lay the pressure on them, though, with these.
I mean, they just need 1 shot. That's it.
Oh,
2 now.
Yeah, Tony was relentless with that. M4, Babylon peeks out to take down 15. And that is a 2-1 lead right now for Team WoW, and a good way to shut down those alms trying to come back into sight. Tony definitely looking a lot stronger here, Ruko.
And of course, Babylon as well. Babylon is one person who's been consistently performing very well. You saw that in this last one, in a situation where he very well had every reason it could go either way, was able to just perform perfectly right when he needed to.
He's certainly doing that so far on this map, so Coda has the bomb kind of leaning towards these tunnels right now, but they got that 1 pick to start things off. Babylon actually came out with the opening frag on this round as well, and they've decided to play it a bit slow since then. Babylon taking out Druzy as well, who tried to get aggressive into those tunnels, but now that will initiate this B push for Team WoW as they get themselves into sight, though. Famesy's going to have something to say about it, but eventually Aaron shuts him down as well. Brando's actually gone for the tar now instead of the M4, so now it's a 3 versus 2. They do have this advantage. Good play from Juice to get down underneath. Takes out Brando, and Babylon was also able to get 1 more before the round was over. That's a 3K on the round for him, and Team WoW was up 3-1 on the not-so-favored side on this map.
Yeah, it's surprising. We were thinking it was going to be Mexico. They were going to find some momentum on, but here, maybe they just needed to get used to it. And we are seeing a little bit, if only a little bit more communication out of both teams. So I think they're getting warmed up to each other, warmed up to the environment, and also just getting more comfortable.
It's a good thing to see. It may have just taken a little bit of time here, but we might be seeing some sort of an A play coming out of Team WoW. They have a couple of guys up inside of the connector. Yeah, the nades going out as well, as you said, and these are kind of the typical plays you'll see, these pinches on the site, though. Fotzi got aggressive towards that connector and already took Aaron out of the equation for this round, and Brando's ready for Juice as well. They knew there was something going on up in that connector, and Brando was able to get Juice, so that already puts, oh goodness, that puts Team WoW at a huge disadvantage here. Coda and Tony, last one's alive.
Hey, it's not over yet.
Oh.
And as I said, there's Coda with the connection. Now, reasonably should go the other way, but with the way that Tony was able to clutch the last one, Coda down. I mean, we're in that situation again. Tony, you're live one more time. Can you do it? I got my doubts here. I mean,
yeah, a little
probabilities
bit tougher this
against you to do this one more time. Can you
Yeah.
clutch it? The rest of the team, I mean, now we're going to start to see things even up. Finally put that second tick on the board. Start
Certainly.
catching up,
Yep.
and there's going to go down. Good shots from Fancy.
There it is. So 3-2 it is. Team WoW. Still with that one-round lead, though. It was good for Carbon, at least, to get themselves another round on the board here. The GR side, definitely the one where you want to rack up a few extra rounds to make it a little easier on yourself going on to the BL side. But we're seeing an aggressive 5-man rush inside of the tunnels. Famesy able to pick up 2 with his arm. Still looking in towards those tunnels, but a great play from him. And they do have control of the site now, Team WoW does, but they've lost 2 players in the process. They were able to pick up onto Druzy, though, so now it's a 3 versus 4. Aaron putting that bomb down onto the site.
And it took them a few seconds where maybe we could have seen it in a little sooner, put that pressure right back onto their opponent, but now it is a 2 versus 4, very difficult situation.
Coda's playing on the back side of the site. Aaron's going to be playing on this sneaky box as well. Coda got 1. He was actually playing inside a closet. Coda got 2, but eventually just too many bodies from Carbon for him to deal with, and Famesy gets the closing frag on the round, picking up a 3K of his own there, and nonetheless tying it up.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to be something else for a moment. Now we've got that tied series, which does mean that Carbon can bring this one back, take this first half, and actually maybe even take the second map from here. If they're doing that, they only need one more map to finish it out and just move on over their opponent.
Yep, and they're...
WoW needs to get an early map.
Yeah,
they
they
need
do.
to get this map, I think. Maybe map number 3 is somewhere where they could come back, but I feel like if you're already down 2 maps, you can't afford to make any mistakes, and you can't take any risks.
Oh my goodness, look at this shutdown on the A site. 15 and Famesy playing the double arm setup over on A, both of them playing together, and was just relentless over there, and it's just Babylon left like a scared dog in the corner there as he had 4 guys running down long to find him, and that's a tough situation for him. But Carbon coming out with 3 straight rounds right back into him here, and they've taken the lead now, 1 round 4-3. But man, what about that double arm setup over on the A site? That was just ruthless.
Absolutely. You can see when it finally comes together as it's meant to, how dangerous it is, because you're one guy's down, then the other, and by the time one fires, the other's reloaded, and he can fire, and it's just this constant stream of just death that, because of these guys are just so brutally accurate and so absolutely amazing with these umps, they aren't going to miss more than 50% of the time, which is what you're going to get good results out of, and we've got Famesy getting 2.
Famesy, look at that. He's able to take down 2 of those B players, and they've already set Carbon up into a 2-man advantage on this round. Aaron might be able to get onto the flank on him here. Does take down Famesy, though. Brando is there to clean up and exchange on that one, so 2 versus 4 it is. And Druzy able to get Tony as well. Things not looking too hot for him, though. Babylon coming back with 2 there, able to take out Brando with a nade. And he's working with that Deagle as well to get Druzy, so still tough one here, Rookil, 1 versus 2.
And we've got both players rotating over towards the B site. Looks like they're expecting that pressure, or for Babylon to move up the middle. And
he looked away at just the wrong time.
And a great call by our Global Risk team, Carbon. They knew where he was, what his most likely moves are. They predicted them, and I liked it. The bounding forward, covering your battle buddy as he moves up, then moving up once he's in a secured position. Really solid teamwork right there. You can tell that they've rehearsed those moves before.
Look at Famesy. He just opens up every round with something. It seems like it's every round. He's already been able to get 1 on this one. Picking up Babylon, which has been a huge player for Team WoW too, which is not good if you're a Team WoW fan. And they have already gotten to a 2 versus 4. And they at least have the bomb, but they're kind of stuck inside of these tunnels right now.
Yeah, and Tony, you did it once, but I'm not expecting you to be able to do this one many more times. I mean, the double arm setup as well, something we need to mention, has been very effective, so I think they can follow it up, keep it going. Juice, can you do it? No.
1 versus 3. It's
beautiful plays.
No, that's actually going to be the half there. Carbon taking yet another half here, 6-3, same way Mexico started off on the last map, so we will have the change of sides here, see if Team WoW can get themselves back in it, but the thing is, they're now on the ropes, very much so. Team WoW is, if they don't come out with a win on this map, they will be 2 maps down, and that is just a really rough way to start off your best of 5.
I don't know if that's the kind of thing you can come back against a team like Carbon.
That's
That would have to be a monumental mistake on one side by Carbon, and of course just the kind of victory that requires montage training.
Right.
Every morning waking up, getting some rock anthems going, and then working out on some Crossfire for about 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
That kind of a montage is what you needed going into this, and I didn't see a montage. I've got some doubts there.
Yeah, I do too. And now it's up to Team WoW to really get themselves back into this one here. They lost that first half, as I said, 6-3. So now they need to come up big on this one. They are heading over to the GR side, though, so maybe time for them to get things rolling.
Now look at that. We've still got the double on the setup.
Famesy and 15, man, it's a ruthless duo, and I fear for Team WoW just a little bit.
But look at Babylon. He's got himself an Om. So just put all those worries away, because he has been brutal for his team. He has been the #1 guy on WoW for this series so far. So if he's the guy who's going to counter both of them out, no one else, I don't think, could step into his shoes right now.
No, and you know what? In order for Team WoW to get themselves back into this too, I think, as you said, Babylon has just been really stellar for them, and I think they're going to need him to continue that play. I mean, he's really got to come up big on this half as we see the mid push coming through from Carbon here. 15 leading the charge with just a deagle, and he's able to get 2 there as well, taking out Juice and Aaron. Tony was able to respond with 1, but Fatsy will immediately shut him down. Coda getting a couple of his own here and still managing to stay alive, but now it's a 1 versus 2. 15 will end his day, and that is right there, right off the gate, 1-0 on the second half, for Carbon.
Yeah, absolutely brutal play. You saw how aggressive that was? I was watching a few of the other members. I think it was Druzy going around the flank at the same time, and I loved the timing. You could see it. Everyone knew exactly when they needed to pause, exactly when they needed to continue going forward, and all of the angles. Just, it was actually very impressive to watch.
Druzy has gotten Aaron to start things off on this round, and you could hear the calls coming from Carbon there. They got that 1 pick and just fell back. They didn't want to give Team WoW a trade-off there, so they just got that 1 frag and they fell back. And now they have that 1-player advantage, which is very key. Now they
looks like, all right.
Yeah,
players were yelling about something to each other for a moment. It looked like something crazy was about to go down. I was waiting for the crazy just rush plays.
Yeah.
Just rush at it with knives, guys. Knives and knaves, go, go, go.
The new meta.
New meta, although I think they calmed back down. Looks like they slowed down their play, though, a lot, which is curious to me. It says we're trying to consider our options, consider what we can do, or feel out our opponent a little more before we decide to push in, because right now, Juice.
A heavy A push coming down on this site here. 15. Well, actually got a frag grenade kill. Fotsy followed up with 1 as well, and Team WoW just getting themselves in these odd-numbered situations. Every round they're letting Carbon get these opening picks, and now it's going to have to be Coda and Tony to respond here, but there's just way too many bodies.
1 for 1, Carbon is just outplaying their opponent right now.
Yep.
The trades are going way into their favor. Whenever they have a position covered, a corner has a Crossfire on it, it's 2 guns where WoW puts just 1.
Yep.
And that's why they're winning, because they're just that much more coordinated, and they're also that incredibly good individually, to where just WoW just can't meet it. They're coming into these situations 1-on-1, flowing in 1-on-1-on-1. And they're getting each other cut off.
Though. Look at this response from Team WoW back onto this round here. I mean, we're looking now. They just shut down that B push completely, and that's an excellent way to respond if you're Team WoW there. Get yourself back into this one little by little, a round at a time.
Yeah, and that was putting my words in my mouth right there. Yeah. I just ate them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that was coordination. That was well played. That was a good rotation on the way in the back. Now we do have another push, and Tony going down immediately is going to hurt. Coda sitting at half is not comfortable for him either. His nades are going to start coming in.
They will get control of this B side here. Fotsy putting that bomb down, though. They do have the possibility of setting up a decent retake here, but there's already too many bodies. Druzy was able to take down Coda. Brando's going to get Babylon as well as Aaron and Juice that have to come up huge. And the issue here, they're both coming in from the same side. They're just really going to need to outfry Carbon here. No, Druzy shuts down Juice, and look at this. I mean, Carbon just has so much momentum right now, and they're 1 round away from taking a 2-map lead.
That would be devastating. That's almost going to put it, right there. You might as well stamp the ticket almost for him, unless WoW can bring out something we've never seen before. But WoW has been putting up almost just right there behind their opponent as a level of a fight. They're not falling that far behind truly in the skill. It's these little contrasts that are making such a huge difference in this series.
But look at this, a great way once again for them to come back into this. Coda got 2, Aaron getting 2 as well.
And that's what I'm talking about, right there. I was talking about that little contrast. At times it would seem as though it's completely carbon-sided, right?
Yeah.
It absolutely decimating WoW. But you can see these rounds every once in a while where everything just comes together for him.
Team WoW surprises you a little bit. And look at this, Tony WoW getting the opening frag on this round, too, taking out Druzy. But 15 and Famesy are going to be running that double set up here, though. Babylon sitting on top of site was able to get 15, but Famesy will trade off on that frag onto him. Fotsy got Aaron as well, so 3 versus 3. As Famesy, Fotsy, and Brando face off against Juice, Coda, and Tony. But they slow up the pace a little bit, Carbon does. They just bring themselves back around here, maybe try and work a couple of picks. I mean, when you still have Famesy out on the field, he's a great asset to have to just open up these rounds, work the picks with his arm. And then, that's probably what they're going to try to do here. They're rotating back around to the safe side. Wouldn't be surprised if they have him get an opening pick here.
That's very possible, and they'll also leave Coda completely behind, which is great for them because he'll have to make that rotation, which will take him a little while. If they can get the picks, it's perfect for them. Also, you've got a lot of members on our Global Risk side hanging around the mid and the bridge, which is very flexible, but there's a number of angles you have to watch at any one time, which is room for error, room for your opponent to come in and just pick you off because you happen to be checking the other corner at the right time.
Now, looking at 2 versus 3 Codas playing in the spawn side. Famesy actually gets taken out by Tony, so it's just Fotsy left, and Coda's able to get that one as well. 2 rounds straight back for Team WoW there, and I was a little bit worried because earlier on the round, they actually, before they got themselves into mid, they had all 3 players playing on the B site, and all of Carbon, all 3 of their players were coming up onto A, and I thought it was just going to be easy for Carbon there, but it was great for WoW to get back into it. Coda gets 2, Coda getting 3 to start this round off, shutting down this B tunnel push here. Now a 2 versus 3, 15 and Famesy. The dynamic duo, though, with those arms, may be able to get themselves back into this.
That's quite a play that you're asking for. And I like the point you're talking about earlier with that opposite side. We're seeing that WoW is able to play as a very cohesive unit at times, and we're seeing some nice shot right there from Famesy. He is going to be able to get that 1 pick. Can they get 2 more? Because this is Babylon on the battlefield, and also Juice. Babylon, I have high expectations for. Juice has been playing solid, getting some okay kills. Babylon, unfortunately, in this round has been getting so many less than we usually see out of him. It's going to Coda and Tony right now, which is strange. I'm wondering if Babylon is losing out a few times in some of these kills, or if he just happened to positioning.
Wait, it's something. I mean, he hasn't been performing what we normally see of him.
Well, just this one. It's just maybe a fluke. I want to throw out there. I'm not saying he's done.
Oh yeah.
He's not gonna retire turning his mouse and keyboard yet, guys. He's just not blowing us away like I'm used to it. And if you expect every round to be blowing you away, then you're gonna end up with things like episode 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good comparison. I like that.
Just throwing that out there. It just happens from time to time.
Yeah. 15 and Famesy are trying to work their way into tunnels here. Juice is going to have to find 2. He does get 1 now, having a 1 versus 2, and he does take down both of them. And that is 3 rounds in a row, I think, here? Maybe for Team WoW?
Yes.
I think 3 in a row?
3 in a row.
Wow, that is a heck of a response. I mean, they're on the ropes here. They need to win 2 more straight to send this into some sort of an overtime because Carbon's already at map point here. They're leading it 9-7.
Yeah, 6 and 3 on the previous half, and now they're sitting on, of course, 3 and 4 right now. If you guys are wondering a little bit about how the scoring works.
Yeah, 9-7 it is for Carbon. All they need is just that 1 round, but for the past few, it's been very, very elusive for them. Can't quite seem to find it. So now they're going to bring themselves up towards this connector a little bit. Carbon slow playing this round so far, but maybe some sort of an A take here. They actually have 3 guys leaning in towards this mid side here. Brando inside of the tunnels here. I'm not sure exactly what they want to do. They keep flip-flopping now, actually getting 3 3 players into the tunnels, I think we may be seeing a B take here.
Well, it's a legitimate way of playing. What you do is you rotate a little one way,
Yep.
see if you catch anything, go a little back the other, see if you catch anything. Your opponent's going to be saying, wait, we saw them over there just a little bit, or not at all, and you start to get curious. So you're waiting on your opponent, and that's going to be the go, go, go. You can hear it right there yelling, so absolutely yell. And they will be able to take the side. I think maybe the bomb can go down, but we are seeing heavy losses for both sides in order to get this. Druzy not... And there he goes. He is going to go for the plant, and he will be able to get it down in time. That is going to be...
3 versus 3. Coming back into the site. Famesy has a good look, actually. There is a player coming in. I think it's Juice coming back in through the tunnels here. He should be able to find him in just a second, but he's looking the wrong way. Now sees him. I thought he saw him anyway.
And
now
Juice.
he's aware that he's there. Juice whiffing on the shots, though, and Famesy will not miss that opportunity there, and he'll go for a second one, though. Tony, wow, inside of the site, picking up 2. Now it's just Brando in a 1 versus 1. He can win this map for him here. Brando getting the round securing frag, and that will secure them the map as well. Now Carbon going up 2-0 in this best of 5.
That's gotta hurt. Carbon's gotta be feeling great, though.
Oh, yeah.
They've gotta be feeling really good. They can take risks. They can do exactly what they want. They have complete control of the series at this point.
All the momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Your opponent doesn't have the ability to take risk. They can't say, all right, let's try something crazy to throw them off, because they can't afford any of those losses. They have to try and play as tight as they can. And it's probably going to result in them not playing anything risky or out of the box, because that would require them to, take some risks, which I don't think have the greatest returns. Less than 50%, when you could say 75% of the time on attack, we're going to get the win if we play this strategy.
And that's, that's going to be the issue for Team WoW moving forward here. They have to get themselves back into this one, and we will be moving on to our next map here. So we are going to actually have, we're going to have an interview here. Dustin is going to have a chat with one of the members from Carbon.
All right, and I'm here with Team Carbon. You guys have now taken it 2-0. Do you feel that you need to change something up, or are you just going to continue with business as usual?
Well, to be honest, we made a big change coming into this where I've been sniping a lot, and I almost never snipe for the team. So other than that, I think it's been working. We haven't necessarily been steamrolling them, but we've been winning a lot of necessary rounds and just getting it done. So I don't really think we need to change anything up. We just need to keep hitting it. I mean, the only change we've made at all was just sniping. That's it. That's the only thing. And so I think that worked.
All right, and there you have it. Team Carbon is now up 2-0. Let's see if Team WoW can make a comeback. Rue, back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now,
Hello.
we've got 2 of us here, though, Dustin. I mean, you can't forget.
Yeah,
I've got a
Dustin,
battle
come on.
buddy here with me. Now,
Yeah.
You've been leading this desk for him. You've been leading the charge on all of this commentary. I've got to say, both of these teams playing very well. That interview, very revealing for me. The fact that we've got people switching around roles that they usually play, going into a LAN, is just so absolutely curious.
Well, and that's when I was talking to the guys yesterday from Carbon, they were telling me about it, because typically in the past you saw the 15 typical sniper thing, and now you hear some of what Famesy has to say about it. They've switched him up on it, making him more of the main sniper, and he's been doing so well at it. So, we will be heading into Black Widow here, which will be our 3rd map. Carbon having the opportunity to take this whole series here, winning that trip to China and the $25,000, but they still need to win this one last map, and we will be bringing that to you guys in just a couple of minutes, so we'll see you then when they try to battle it out for the final. All right, everybody, welcome back here to the studio in Burbank, California. We are just about to get into our third and final map, or it's not our final map, but potentially final map.
Exactly, right there. We were talking about it a little bit during the break. This could be over. We could be about to get there, and there's a lot that WoW has to do to turn this one around. Of course, we do have Dustin ready with an interview with WoW to ask them about what they are going to do to try to get back in this one. Dustin.
All right, and I'm here with WoW. Unfortunately, you're now down 0-2. What is your strategy going into this next map in order to clinch a victory?
Well, the first two maps, we really got picked off one by one. We weren't really team-oriented. Moving forward for the wanting to win the next three maps, we're going to have to really focus on working as a team and using our sniper much more effectively. But the only thing that can put us back in this match right now is hard work and just thinking back on all the hard work we've had coming up and really pull that out and just try our best.
All right, so Team WoW is going to try to wow us and get that 3-0. Let's go back to the casters.
Well, thank you, Dustin. And, yeah, they certainly do need to wow us here as they find themselves on the ropes here as we head into our third map, which will be Black Widow. Another interesting one. But the thing is, at this point, do you think Team WoW can get themselves back in it?
I mean, based on what I've seen so far, they play very well. There's a lot of good plays here and there, but they aren't able to be as consistent as their opponent. You've got Carbon more consistently playing solid together, making the timings, making their shots count, making nades as well,
yes.
time to time.
Yep.
Also, consistency is what it comes down to. Everything else, if we saw WoW being more consistent in every single category, it would be much closer. We'd probably see them take one of these maps. We might have taken Mexico, but they're down 2. That does mean that their opponent's feeling comfy and confident. They might get too comfortable.
And that's the thing. You can't get too complacent in these situations if you're Carbon. You know, you don't want to get too complacent and let off the gas pedal here. But, but that's what separates some really good teams from maybe not so good ones. You don't let up on the gas pedal there. You just keep, just piling it on them.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't let your opponent figure you out. All of these deep, complex, little intricacies of a longer series. Because as a longer series, it does change up a little bit of the way you think about the game. Instead of planning for those quick rushes in the early part of a best of 3, maybe you slow it down to feel out your opponent because you know this can go to a best of 5.
So here we are into the knife round here, and once again, doing the knives for sides here this time. Looking a little bit better maybe is, 1 versus 2 in this knife round. Oh, Juice is so hurt. Carbon getting yet another one. That's 3 straight knife rounds for those guys. They don't let up the gas pedal on the knife rounds either. They keep getting, and they get that all-important side choice. Now, something to note, though, Ruko, on Black Widow, maybe not as big of a deal for side choice necessarily on Black Widow, though Blacklist is generally a little bit more favored on this one. It's one of the different ones. A lot of maps you'll see GR side is the more favored start point, but on this one, teams tend to gravitate towards the Blacklist side to start things.
And that's just because the way your opening aggression can get you results. I mean, you just send a rush in, or you just do a nice even split. There's plenty of positions that you can make work that the players on the GR side aren't necessarily going to be able to easily counter out. You're going to be able to just get in and get a bomb plant if you really want to. And if you really need to slow things down and take a second to think, you have that option as well on the Blacklist side. So you're not as restricted on other maps where you might have to go for a very specific play style in order to get results.
Yeah, certainly have a lot more options to work with here on this map. So that will be Carbon starting off on the Blacklist side, and Team WoW will be over on Global Risk. Carbon can end the series with this map right here if they win this one. They're already up 2-0, and all they need is this last one, and they will be heading to China as well as picking up $25,000 to pocket after this one. So lots on the line here. Team WoW doesn't want to go out just yet, though.
And we've got solid coverage from our Global Risk team. All over WoW, they're looking for it. We've got good view from Tony down the mid. Babylon. Oh, he is covering and ready for this push from our Blacklist. Carbon might be walking into a very dangerous position if they just decide to go for it. But if they can make it work, and we do see them make their way into A, I'm guessing a smoke to cross would help out, because take a look at that low ground where we have, who is that? That's Babylon, just waiting for it.
Yeah, Babylon's He's going to be waiting for the cross to happen. I'm not sure if they're going up catwalk or... Now they are coming down long here. Babylon was able to pick up onto Brando, but the shutdown of Team WoW right here. Tony picking up 2. Now it is just Famesy, 1 versus 5. He has this in hand, trying to take on all these guys, just way too many. But a great hold on that site to start it off for Team WoW, and now up 1-0.
And it's a devastating way to start this one off, because before we'd seen, a few people left over after the opening skirmish, and it was kind of even still, maybe 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3, something like that. This one, absolute slaughter. That's the kind of thing that makes Carbon go, oh, wait a second, guys.
Can't let the complacency hit.
Exactly. And that could have been a wake-up call for him, though. Tony taking nades to the face. It's going to be just gone off the battlefield immediately. And not really any damage put back onto their opponents. Yep. Carbon's going to be able to start this one off well. I think this is where it can turn around, whereas last time they walked into a bad crossfire. This time, I think with the 2 OMs set up, they might be able to see some results.
It's interesting. We've seen it for the extent of this final matchup here, but you don't normally see too many double OM setups in competitive CS, at least in the North American scene, but these guys have been doing it really well. I mean, it's so good. Oh, Famesy with a great shot on Aaron there. Going for Babylon as well, picking up 2, and now he'll just push himself straight in through the mid. Coda is over towards that B side, and Juice will be over on A. Coda was able to pick up onto Famesy there.
Looking the wrong way at the wrong time.
Yeah, unfortunate 15's there anyway. It doesn't matter. He'll clean up on the last one, so Carbon responding right back there, now 1-1.
Yeah, that was... Actually, 1 loss in the first round for WoW, and they get a complete wipe, and then Carbon gets the exact opposite. Completely mirrored results there.
Yeah, look at that. I'm doing a little leapfrog here, so we'll see if somebody can continue on with that fashion. Famesy will at least continue with that trend and get the opening pick on the round here, taking out Aaron, though.
But Druzy going down as he gets a little bit too aggressive.
He sees a couple inside of this mid, though. He's hungry for some more frags as he sees Babylon in the top there, but he just got himself out of the way of his scope right on time. So we're looking at a 4 versus 4, and the bomb is still just lurking around in the back towards spawn, though.
Going towards B?
Yeah, I was going to say, they're starting to transition towards this B site, so we may see something there.
Yeah, and I think we've got only 1 member actually inside the B site. That's Coda.
He's going to have a storm of people coming here towards him soon.
Well, maybe not. Maybe just 2, because we might see the other 2 members of Carbon head mid and try and put that pressure, get the picks on any rotations that we're seeing out of Global Risk. Might be able to work.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they're gonna contradict me. 3 and then 1 covering mid. It seems a little bit safer. And there's gonna be flash, and this is gonna be the site take. Getting very aggressive. We're gonna see
goodness, Coda. He had such a good opportunity there, but he couldn't land the shots, and that's really shots that you can't miss on a stage like this in any game, really. I mean, he had such a good opportunity to get at least 1, maybe even 2, but he instead Fotzi just turns around and rips his head off with that M4. So 4 versus 3 it is. Fotzi has the bomb inside of sight. They're going to check things, make sure that it's clear, but he will get that bomb down. And
the retake on the site is just so difficult, though.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, you really have one good way to get in here. I mean, Tony's been able to get 1 so far. He's going to try towards that window room. Maybe they want to send all 3 in through the doors. Famesy's already gotten 1. Getting a second one is Famesy. Can he get the 3rd? They still have Tony WoW inside of there, and there's the hat trick for Famesy coming out. And already
you can hear laughter from Carvin's side. They're surprised by how much success he just saw.
I mean, look at the guy is, what, 7-2 right now, Carbon? Wow, now he gets actually very aggressive play into the mid, though, from Team WoW. Coda and Aaron both just decided to push straight up into the mid, and they've already gotten 2 frags because of that. Actually, Famesy and 15 are the 2 to go down.
Well, I guess we just... It's bound to happen eventually. Also, give it to our Global Risk team for targeting their positions and trying to take them out as early as possible. The longer you let them sit, the longer you let them, figure things out, they can start inching up, and then they get the kills, and that's where we see those amazing plays like what we just saw. It's just giving them enough rope to hang all of you with.
And now they want to move themselves towards this A site here. Carbon does. It is a 3 versus 5, though. Going to make it a little bit tough, but they have 2 players over towards this catwalk side. Coda peeking up with a great shot. Fotzi exchanges, but still now 2 versus 4. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to push this A site here. There's a lot of nades coming across, and I'm sure the rotations are coming through. from Team WoW as well, so they've backed themselves up on long. Still 1:20 left on this round, though.
And we do have a flank coming in. Who is that heading around? We've got Juice waiting in the mid for them to begin that rotation. I'm thinking he's listening right now, and when he hears those footsteps, he's probably going to just turn right on out and just take those 2 picks as they come across. Because I'm betting Carbon will take the risk and not look down mid or not slow down for it if they try to transition out. But they're going to go forward, continue trying to get the picks.
There's Brando, though. He gets 1, taking out Tony, so that evens it up just a bit more. But Brando and Fozzie are both really hurt, and that flank is starting to come through now. They're sending him on, and Babylon and Aaron will clean it up anyway. They don't even need that flank. So another solid hold there coming out of WoW, and we're looking at a 2-2 game.
All right, 2-2. Not a bad way to start it. This isn't over yet. This is still some place where we can see WoW get back into it. They have been playing a little bit more consistently. Things are getting a little bit closer, but I'm still feeling that bias towards Carbon when I see the gameplay.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, they've been so powerful throughout this whole event here, and you know, even if Team WoW gets to their peak play, I mean, you're still dealing with a Carbon team that's pretty much playing at their peak right now, and at least in my opinion, playing at their peak, and it's going to be so tough for them to get back in it, but it's very important for them to do so as this B push is starting to come on into the site now, though.
Fazzy picking up some great kills, clearing out the mid, getting real control. Unfortunately, it does go down. Famzy's the only one left, but if anybody can do it, I think it's him, and he does have his arm.
Yeah, and he's been rocking so far in this one. Gets flash taken out. Coda through the flash, though. Huge kill from him, and now we're looking at a 1 versus 1 between Famzy and Babylon here, who is inside of the mid. The bomb is over towards that B site, though. I think it's actually inside of the box room, so he should be able to grab this, and he has plenty of time to work with. And now Babylon's, well, he's still out inside of that mid. Yeah, we'll see. He's going to come in towards the B site from the back end. I mean, they're just playing ring around the rosy at this point.
Yeah, I think Babylon's trying to throw his opponent off. He knows he's trying to approach from an unexpected position, which is, of course, from a blacklist approach. If he can do that, and they do find each other.
Oh,
Famzy going down, and Babylon's going to get that clutch. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, that's big for Team WoW to be able to get right there to keep themselves relevant in this game. They are actually going to take the lead 3-2. Famzy, in my opinion, playing a little bit careless maybe. I mean, that's the thing. He didn't know where Babylon was at, so...
I think it was Babylon playing a nice head game.
Well,
I think he predicted everything very well. He understood that he needed to approach from an angle that his opponent wasn't going to predict, which is... You could say it could have been expected, but I think the more likely option in that situation, you would have gone for something that was a global risk typical approach, took a blacklist typical approach, and got the win because of it.
And now they want to go for another B site take here, Carbon. That's what they're trying to do, but there's so many bodies just shutting them down outside of this site. Babylon was able to get 2. Juice getting it. That's Babylon getting 3 actually here, just completely mowing them. But Brando coming back and responding with a few of his own, but just about out of ammo and all of his weapons here, so he needs to reload, and he wants to go with, well, swap out for another M4 at least, but he's pretty hurt right now.
He can still do it.
He can.
I think he's still got a solid chance. He just has to watch himself because, there we go.
Ooh.
Good prediction from Coda. Coda knowing exactly where he was going to retreat back to, what the most likely positions were, covered the angle, and you could see it. He was not quite expecting it. He seemed a little surprised even when he saw his opponent.
Yeah, at first he had a good look. Brando did, but just had a good opportunity to pick up on the kill, but just couldn't quite find it. Now, actually, we're going to see Carbon go for a cat push here, which we haven't seen too much from them so far, but they're going to go for it nonetheless. Already losing 2 players, both teams actually losing 2 here, so we're seeing an even fight, but Brando and Fozzie are already very hurt on this round here, and Fozzie actually goes down, so it's going to be 2 versus 3 as they rotate back around, and they drop the bomb back in spawn, which actually may have been a decent idea, so they didn't get mowed down and lose the bomb. But
you don't want to lose control. You have to keep it safe, especially if you know you're not going to actually push into the site.
Yeah.
The bomb being there says that cat push was really just a way to grab your attention, but it didn't work nearly as well.
Oh my goodness.
And that's going to be it.
That is brutal from Babylon, picking up the wall bang headshot right at the end. And now, look at Team WoW. What a time for them to get themselves back into it, though. Now looking at 5-2 on this first half here, so maybe a change of pace. Maybe the tables have turned a little bit.
Yeah, or they're finally getting used to their opponent, getting used to the live environment, which is something we were asking about earlier. Are they doing okay with that? First, they disappointed us on the map we hyped up with Mexico, knowing they were supposed to be pretty good on it. They are playing much better now. Now they're getting some momentum in here, getting some comfort, but it still isn't done yet. They don't really have this under control yet. They're only kind of just getting a little bit of a spike of performance at the moment. I'm not going to say they've got it down because only Tony Wow is left alive.
Yeah, and just as we say something about how they started to get it together there, and Carbon coming right back with it, and Famesy, well, he saw him out there in mid, but he's just going to play with him a little bit. Throws a flash out there, just keeps jumping back and forth inside of those doors. I'm not sure exactly what Famesy's trying to do here. Comes in with a deagle. Tony tried to take him out, but Famesy in the end picking up onto that frag. So at least on this round, on this half, Team WoW has secured at least a half victory since they have 5 rounds, but Carbon is going to try and at least grab this last one here before we head into the second half.
I mean, if they get this, I think when side swap, Carbon should be able to finish this one out. At least based on what I've been seeing so far. Now we do have a crazy push into the site. Druzy's down. Brando almost down. And Fatsy is sitting about half. Everyone else, Tony Wow, finally getting taken out, and that's going to even things up, giving a little advantage maybe even to Carbon for this take and hold of the site. Can we even get the bomb planted? Famesy, what are you doing?
Oh, but 15 is still
he's going to go down just as he tries.
Goodness, Aaron coming back into sight, finding 2 with his AK. 15 really needs to seek this one out. Aaron got 3, but eventually 15 shuts him down. My goodness, that was so close. Now Carbon is going to at least even up the half a little bit there. Team WoW still taking it 5-4, but I mean, that could have been a big lead on the half there. Team WoW could have taken a 6-3 one. I think, I'm not sure why they didn't get that bomb down right away. I mean, they seemed to take a while, right?
It was a few seconds where everything to me appeared clear. Of course, this is us with our intel, which is we get to see both sides. So maybe I was a little jumpy to say that he should have gotten the plant. I'm going to hold on that one because you want to play safe. Let's hold off on the bomb plant until we know we've got it secured, because in just the moment when he started to plant the bomb, you saw Aaron come in and get the 2 kills.
Yeah, and I mean, if it wasn't for 15 being heads up there to turn around and take him out, I mean, I'm sure he got the calls from his teammates that Aaron was just destroying all of Carbon on side of the A site, but still, a very close opportunity for Team WoW there to take a big half lead, but now it's still a 5-4 lead on the half for them, and they will have to come out and win this map or they are about done here.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, we do have social media out there listening for you. Hashtag WCA 2015. Let us know your predictions. Can Carbon finish this one out, or is WoW going to bring it back? Please let us know. 140 characters or less. Hashtag WCA 2015. And the round has started.
And there we are. We are heading right back into it here, and already they've gotten plenty of kills. Carbon has, and Druzy and Fotsy combining here to pick up on a few, and it's just Coda in a 1 versus 5 here. Not the start to the half that Team WoW, I'm sure, was looking for. Fotsy finishes off that one. So they've now completely evened up the game. We're looking at 5-5. Carbon is only in need of, well, go figure, 5 more rounds, and they could be the champions here.
Very well could be. All they have to do is close it out. Solid play. Don't get ahead of yourselves. But for WoW, it's not it's a thin chance. It's a long shot, real Hail Mary, kind of a response that we need out of them. But
it's not over till it's over.
Exactly.
No, they can fight it out till the end. It's just, it gets tougher and tougher as you give up these rounds here. It'll be a bigger and bigger hill to climb, and at this point for Team WoW, it's just about Everest-like for them, I believe. And 15 able to start this one off to get Aaron, and Fotsy will find one as well. Coda is inside of the mid lurking. Wants to see maybe if he can find one, but so far not. Oh, Brando peeking out at just the perfect time, and now that is going to be...
But that's 2 down for Tony, and Babylon is there, going to be able to take the site. Tony has the C4. He's going to go for the plant as fast as possible, planting it right out in the open. Easy coverage. They're going to move over to the cat in order to find a safer position, but Fatsy gets there just in time. He's not looking the right way. Babylon, though, He's got it. He's in the perfect position for this. They know he's there, though.
The bomb is planted perfectly for him. They know he's going to be over there, though. Famesy, they played that perfectly. Carbon played that absolutely perfectly. They had one guy watching that. You knew Famesy would be able to find that frag, and they had the other defuse it. That's textbook Crossfire right there.
Yeah, and on top of it, you've got plenty of nades, flashes, smokes moving into the position. There was a ton of pressure on him. He has just such a small chance of being able to make it work out. He couldn't really find another option, especially after losing his battle, but you needed 2 people to hold that site. One was not going to be able to do it against the 2 that we're going to retake. Now we do have some cat play coming up from our blacklist. WoW trying to go for something a little sneaky, as they're going to kind of put Babylon in a hidden position. He has not found anyone yet. Famesy is down. Fatsy taking a little bit as well, but with Famesy down, I think it's a lot of control in the mid and the potential A hold not working out for Carbon.
Well, they're trying for this A push here. It's a 3 versus 3. Druzy's still inside of the site, though. Aaron absolutely needs to find this frag. 15, I think, on a jumping one Deagle, finding 2 headshots with his Deagle right towards the end of that round. Just a slaughter, a chicken shoot for Carbon there. 3-0 on the second half, man.
Wow. Had every reason to be able to take that site. Everything looked great, but in a game like this, it can turn around in a heartbeat. All you have to do is make your shots count, make your timings right, know what's up, just absolute control and absolute just knowing your opponent here from Carbon. They have it. I think they're going to be able to close this one out. They've got 3 up. They're playing beautifully. We've got some solid play from players like Babylon and Tony right now. Tony really stepping up as this one's gotten into the middle of it, but not enough.
No.
It's just not quite enough.
Need to see more out of guys like Coda and Juice, too, who we haven't really seen necessarily a whole lot from throughout today.
Yeah, they really haven't been performing as much as people like Babylon or Aaron at times, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a hard question to answer because we don't know these guys as well as their teammates. Is it the live environment? Are they just not comfortable here? Is it the lights and the stress really getting to them? Because they need to be able to tune all that out and focus. Because you can see it right there from the gameplay of Carbon. They are able to stay focused. You can see the mood on their faces, the contrast between WoW, who are very serious, glum, and some smiles here and there. So a little banter going back and forth.
Oh yeah.
From Carbon.
Oh, Carbon loves the banter. That's one of their favorite things to do. And now we're looking at just 2 more rounds needed from Carbon, and they will be your champions and pick up on that prize money as well as the trip to China, but still 2 rounds away. And that's going to be the thing of it for them. So now Team WoW very much on the ropes, but you hope that they're not too down on their spirits to maybe try and fight back into this game. But at this point, by the way that we've seen them on the second half, I don't know if it's been Carbon just dominating or a little bit of Team WoW maybe giving up.
I think it's a number of issues. When you know you're down 2, and your opponent is incredibly skilled and also, of course, favored like Carbon is, once you're down 2 maps, morale is taking a hit.
Yeah.
You can try to bring it back, but so many teams with years of experience together cannot come back against that. Against a team like this.
That's really, oh my goodness, Druzy taking out Coda as well. Druzy got a 4K on the last round, and now Carbon looking to set themselves up into position for this match point, moving on to the next round if they're able to get this one, and they're looking pretty solid right now, especially as Famesy able to take out Juice. Tony able to get 1, but Famesy striking back with his AWM once again. Famesy picking up a 3K in the mid with his AWM. He's just been dynamite today with that sniping. Been absolutely ruthless, and now Brukil, that sets up Carbon with a match point.
That's it. You can see it on their faces. They are waiting on the edge of their seats, just ready to finish this one out. Aaron, Juice are down. Fatsy's almost, but not quite. And with 3 members up for WoW, this is about to be it. They are almost there. And trying to take control of Long on A, but deciding against it, knowing that Druzy's behind him. They're going to go for something, throw a few nades out here and there, but Druzy gets on a beautiful high ground position, and if a little damage traded back and forth, Coda is able to make the connection after, I think, way too long for both players. They must be a little bit disappointed with their performance on that one, but this could be it, and I think WoW's going to take whatever they can get.
Yeah, you know what? They've evened this one up at a 3 versus 3, and Carbon has I don't want to say playing careless on this round, but they played very aggressive in from behind. They tried for that aggressive flank on the A long and didn't necessarily work out for them. Team WoW just kind of out-positioned them on that one as Carbon tried to get very aggressive. So we're looking at a 3 versus 3 here. As we said, Carbon can completely end this one right here if they're able to pick up onto this round. And they have good position to defend this A site because their Team WoW's going to try and come into the A site. 15 gets his head blown off by Tony, though. Famesy playing on the backside of this train. He may be able to find a few here as he has excellent position. The bomb does go down, but Famesy does take down Tony. Now we're looking at a 2 versus 2. Famesy picking up another one, and Brando finishes it off, taking out Babylon, and that will do it, folks. Carbon is going to head on to the global finals of the WCA, and they're going to pick up on $25,000 here, though. Team WoW just falling in a straight 3-map swing there. I mean, Carbon, we were talking about it all day. The more experienced team coming into this. They've been to LAN many a times, all that, and it really showed.
Yeah, it really did. You could see it from WoW. They were there almost right behind their opponents every step of the way. First round, Mexico goes 10-6, right?
Yep.
We're expecting Mexico to be their best map, but Carbon is just that prepared for it, and they are able to stay ahead of their opponent. But let's just throw it out there. WoW made some solid rounds. Move on to Port, and then, of course, the story was just about the same, but WoW doing a little bit better. 10-7 this time, showing, at least to us, that maybe they were catching momentum, getting used to their opponent, used to the live environment, and playing a little bit better because of that.
Well, you know, and they started to get themselves together in that Port game, but still, it's just, you had Carbon, who was just so strong, and you know, they eventually come out on top of this one, and then go on, of course, as you just saw, taking that Black Widow game as well. So that's going to be a victory for Carbon. They head on to China to represent the American scene on the international stage for the WCA finals. So you know, good on them. They were heavily favored coming into this event. I think most people were expecting them to take this, so not too surprised.
All right, it sounds like our interview is ready with Carbon. Dustin is sitting there waiting for us to throw it to him. Dustin, take it away, sir.
All right, congratulations, Team Carbon. You've qualified for the World Finals in China. How do you feel?
We feel, I mean, it's just awesome. I don't know how else to put it. It feels amazing to win like that in 3-0 fashion, you know, dominating.
Now, at the beginning, they were kind of giving you some trouble on Mexico, but you guys were really able to just bring it all the way back, 3 straight maps. What did it take for you to just be so dominant?
Well, the thing is, Crossfire is a game of confidence, like a lot of games. And once we started getting more and more confident, it just, and they were getting a little bit, like, not necessarily depressed, but, you know, just getting down in the dumps. It was just over after that. I mean, we already won when they were feeling good, and then once they start feeling bad, it's over.
All right, and there you have it. Once again, congratulations to Team Carbon. They are going to China for the World Finals. Make sure you are staying tuned, and thank you so much for tuning in, because when we return, we'll have more Heroes of the Storm action.